Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
And they'll run it here. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On 3rd down. That's Austin. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And deep he goes into Jets territory before being taken down. It's a big play there for Miami. 54 yards on the ground. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Looking to throw. Flushed out right. This is caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not only did he not get in the end zone, he didn't get the first down either. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they're just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what second down brings. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5. Back to throw, Darnold. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And they're going to get the first down here as he's up to the 14. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. That's caught right side by Anderson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Darnold now to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Jet was able to recover, and they'll keep possession thanks to a heads-up play.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
On second down, Darnold. He drops it off for Bernard. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 7 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Darnold from the gun. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And out come the Dolphins now. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Detroit! 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 Hot! Hot!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. He goes underneath to Drake. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll set up a throw, escaping the pressure right. It's complete to Grant. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Flush to his right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Willie Henry. Busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Lucky 56.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. They'll drop the throw. Now he'll escape to his left. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good, and the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On 1st down, Darnold. Underneath, this is Bernard. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's Darnold. Airing one out for Crowder. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And Stills over the middle. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriots!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a carry for Bernard. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the 50, it's Darnold. Found his target, it's Anderson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Now Bernard. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Darnold flushed out right. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Giovanni Bernard, as the first half is winding down, and the Jets are able to strike for 6. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. So, all right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On first down, it's Darnold. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Randy Gregory in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Eluding the pressure right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it. A little careless with the football. And he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did. And when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember. Traffic, turbulence, people around you. 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away. Tuck it away because you've got to take care of the ball.
Buying time to his left. And that'll be incomplete. You got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jets have recovered. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
And the grab by Croft. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. And Zerline's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
No, check. Patriot.
He'll drop to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the 1st.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and now it's 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he finds Stills, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenny Stills, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Walsh adds the extra point, and we are even at 10 apiece. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Now Darnold. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Off of play action, Darnold. Flush to his right. That is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Darnold. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Bernard. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold flushed out right. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on fourth down.
Leopard, Detroit!
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on fourth down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And Zerline's kick is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Gone!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms, because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, now, look at 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, look at 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Back to throw. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he fires one, but incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get into overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Detroit!
Darnold. Forced out to his left. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football. But this couldn't be much worse, could it?
No.
This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T-form. They're already in field goal range here late in the fourth now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker and just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. As his guys are in for 6. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
And that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
New York set to take the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they worked on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? He's back to throw. Steps away to his left. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. 2 huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on 2nd down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die 4th down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, but whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They're just brimming with it right now.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So now let's look at the situation. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining, so barring a first down, they could conceivably get the ball back. So now it's all about defense and stopping the clock. Don't give up any yardage, right? Use your timeouts. And your offense always practices going downfield without timeouts. You know, those 2-minute drills, most of them are run in practice without the benefit of timeouts. They want to make it as tough a situation as possible. They're in it right now. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll drop the throw. Fighting to stay upright. Trying to improvise. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. Walsh now for the PAT. Extra point up and good by Walsh. And the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Jets set to take the field. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Dolphins, a final win here means they'll finish off the regular season at a solid 13-3. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Jets, this loss will mean they finish the season right at 500 at 8-8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure. So for Charles Davis and our entire